Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream with me. If you're watching this, why, I guess. Um, Look, it is Legion versus Las Vegas Lights, which, if you don't know, at halftime, Las Vegas are going to be breaking the record for the biggest, I guess, water balloon fight ever at halftime, which is cool. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of the largest water balloon fight ever. But a part of me wishes that Legion did it first just so Las Vegas Lights couldn't do it. But, whatever you can do to get butts and seats, I guess. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm typing in this lineup right now, so I can put it on screen. Actually, I can go ahead and do this now, and suddenly you guys are a part of this. Let's do that. Let's see if I've aha. See, look at that. Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm doing, just so you guys can kind of see what we're dealing with, what we're lining up against. Some important things that I've already noticed is that Zach Carroll is not starting, who is that normally they're starting like their normal starting center back. So that's interesting. Some other stuff to just kind of be on the watch out for is you guys cannot be looking at that because that's illegal for me to show. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Um, what? What did you say to me? I'm trying to inform the people of things. It wasn't exactly illegal, but it was definitely me showing the stream when that's not legal. Yeah. I mean, you never know what I'm showing on here. That's why people come to these games or come to these streams, really, especially after dark people. Um, hey, it's an after dark game, but I mean, we got. I mean, this is an interesting match. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I've said before that I really don't think that they are, well, by they, I mean, Las Vegas are as bad as I think their record would say they are, but they're also not good. But they're okay. For example, Memphis just lost, 6-0, and they just lost 4-0. I mean, they haven't played they being, oh my gosh, Las Vegas have not played that poorly all season. They haven't had a match where they've played that poorly, and so because of that, I I don't think that's to just say they're outright the worst is not really fair. I think that's an unfair statement. That said, I mean, they haven't played well either, you know? Um I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. As for region, we are seeing an interesting lineup tonight where I think the first thing that needs to be noted is that there's only 5 people on the bench, which, assuming all things go very well, Legion will only be using like for those subs because one of those is a goalkeeper. So what does that mean? I don't know. Um, what we're kinda looking at is, I mean, no doubt we're gonna have Jake Roof on the right-hand side, we're gonna have Moses Mintz on the left. If you notice, Gabriel Alves didn't even make this trip. We also have Matthew Corcoran on the bench, which I disagree with. But attacking wise, this is the juggernaut lineup. This is the one that everybody says this is the attacking lineup. You have Prosper, you have Juan, you have Nico, you have Tyler, you have Enzo. Like, Everybody that you got hyped up about, this is where it is. What I think, unprofessional opinion, I I think that we are looking at I think Enzo's gonna be playing central defensive mid with Anderson. We saw that again with, we saw that at the, Loudoun match, and, you know, like, it worked, but I don't think it's gonna be as attacking as you would think it's actually going to be. I don't know. Why don't I know? Because 'Cause I'm not the coach. Uh, uh, yeah, I guess so. Um, by the way, for people who are watching on the old Twitter machine, ooh, this is showing this as a 4-3-3 on the screen. Wait, what is that? What is no, I'm sorry. I'm taking a screenshot of this. What is this? What If you're if you're not watching the live stream, whatever they just showed on screen was truly incredible. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Um, this I I don't know what this is. What is this? Last name in net, Jake Roof. The what? None of this makes sense. I hold on. I'm gonna pull this up in just one moment as there's confetti falling onto the pitch, and we are underway. I'm gonna go ahead and share this screen. I hope this is sharing the correct screen, and I am going to go ahead and talk about whatever is going on. Okay, so this looks like confetti everywhere. If this okay, so right now we have Ando kind of playing the middle all by himself. He's has so much space to work with. Now playing to Nico Brett, or no, sorry, is that Prosper or is that Nico? Oh, that's Prosper. Playing really deep. Yeah, I mean, this also makes sense of having Prosper play super deep as well. Um, not what I would have done, but it makes sense. Um, you know, I'm gonna hold on, I'm about to post whatever this is so funny. This should not be as funny as it was. I I just wanna share whatever this is. Share this tab instead. You get to look at this. You just get to look at this with me. What is this? We're gonna dissect what I see on screen. The number 11, Juan Agudelo, playing up top. The number 15, Nico Brett, playing right wing. The number 9, Enzo Martinez, playing the left wing. The number 6, Moses Mensah, playing left midfield. The number 10, Anderson Asiedu, playing central midfield. The number 19, Prosper Kasim, playing right midfield. The number 3, Matt Van Okel, playing left back. The number 13, Manuel Kavita, playing center back. 21, Jake Roof, playing playing center back. The number 33, Alex Cardinale, playing right back. And number 1 last name in net for us. Who did they leave out? Who was left out here? Because somebody was left out. This is incredible stuff. I okay, wait, I can just look over here, can't I? Who did they leave out? It looks like everybody's here. Well, I'm forgetting someone. Whatever. Whatever. It none of this matters. I That's hysterical to me. Um, as we now have Tyler Pasher over on the right-hand side, and Jake Roof puts in a good little cross. I wanna go ahead, and it looks like they are going to be going up like this as Jake Roof having to make a good recovery back. and he does really well. I love Jake Roof. You all know this, but man, I really do love that guy. So what we're looking at here is looks like it's going to be Juan Agudelo playing over here on the what is that? Is that the left wing? Left wing, and we're having Enzo play as our shadow striker, which this makes sense too. But this really does put Anderson on an island, which is not inherently a bad thing, but it's a different thing. And I, you know, it's not necessarily bad. Um, but I do think we're going to see a lot of Enzo dropping back as Jake Roof puts in a horrible switch, has to be said. He goes to switch the play, but does not put enough oomph on it under a lot of pressure, gives up the ball cheaply. Now the Lights have possession, but Legion win it right back. Well done by Prosper Kasim. I would love for John Morrissey of USL Tactics to really break down uh, Prosper Kasim because I feel like his defensive prowess is actually pretty decent as Enzo Martinez is putting on the pressure as he normally does. And I think this is where you're going to be seeing, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of up and down by Enzo. So, like, you see where I have Enzo right here. I think he's going to be pushing up pretty hard. I also think he's going to be tracking back a lot. I think he's just going to be a middle of the park merchant. Um, I think that's kind of what we're looking at. As for uh-oh, all of my equipment is freaking out. Why is that happening? That's nice. That was weird. My You can't see it. My entire screen just stopped working. As I'm sorry. I thought that I thought Las Vegas was trying to beat Matt Van Okel from like 70 yards out, and I got really concerned. Um, this is a interesting foul. Kind of goes from behind. It's kind of a foul. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, I'm sorry if the Wi-Fi is not amazing or if it seems like I'm cutting out. I don't know. Oh, as Tyler Pasher puts in an interesting ball in, trying to go low to beat someone as Manuel Kavita up at the top of the box, controlling the ball. What a beast. As Juan Agudelo goes up, Moses Mensah looking to take one, goes over to the left side where Nico Brett now has the ball, gets a little cheeky to Juan Agudelo, who I don't know what that was. It looked like he tried to head the ball, but also completely missed as Mateo Faz has a clear one-on-one opportunity, but Enzo Martinez with a wonderful tackle on Faz, um, the duck, if you will, which that is, I think that's his name. Um, just absolutely just does everything right there. As I mean, Legion had a dangerous opportunity to deal with. As Prosper Kasim snatches that one back over to Juan Agudelo. Juan Agudelo, ball at his feet, waiting for someone to run. Now over to Anderson Acedu. Anderson Acedu surveying the field, looking around, going around in circles. Now drops it down to Nico Brett, Prosper Kasim, who's playing really, really deep. Prosper Kasim now over to Jake Roof. Jake Roof looking and going back, kind of starting over the possession again. But this is kind of what I talked about in my pre-match preview, where we're going to see Legion having to control the ball. And this is not really because Las Vegas is trying to be a counterattacking team. I just don't think they have the quality to hold on to the ball as Prosper Kasim puts in a brilliant ball, but just not on the same page as Nico or Juan, who are kind of going after the same ball. We're seeing I don't know what Juan did. I think if he tried to go for a header and not possess the ball with his foot, I think he would have had a better chance of putting that chance on goal. Also, I barely ate dinner, so I'm gonna be muting a lot so you don't hear just like a lot of crunching. I'm sorry. This won't happen the entire stream. I promise. I can't promise that, but whatever. No ASMR streams today. I I I can't get over the lineup as one well there by Nico. Nico looks to switch the play, but him and Juan are just not on the same page. This is again kind of what we're this is supposed to be this is supposed to be the big win of the attacking lineup, and the more I'm looking at this, I mean, it kind of is really, Enzo seems like he's being more the starting like, the forward, and Nico is working off of him. But, that also kinda comes with ebbs and flows of the game, right? So, if I'm looking at this more realistically, I think we're seeing more of a kind of a 4-1-3-2, which seems a little bit more plausible, I suppose. As Moses Mensah gets his pocket picked, and there's a pretty decent ball up to, Mateo Foz, but Foz could not quite get on the end of it. Oh, sorry, that was Andrew Carlton, which if you don't know the story of Carlton, he was a guy with Atlanta United for a while, as there's a really good ball now to Nico Brett, but he fires it straight at Diaz. Nico is looking around, praying for a call. I don't know what he's calling there unless you're calling a tug on the back, but I think that contact kind of happened because he had to slow up to win the ball. As we're going to a replay, as we're gonna see he's seeing the high kick, I suppose, is what he's calling as the ball is in the air, and it's a decent chance for Las Vegas. Etang could not quite get there. But Andrew Carlton, who's a guy with Atlanta United who he was a really bright upcoming star. I mean, there were people talking about him with the U.S. men's national team because, I mean, you don't play as well as you do and have the opportunities you do as Anderson Aseydu goes and kills him. um, or was that Prosper's name? This sounds really bad, but like when I can't see, they're not. Yeah, it was Anderson. Right now, Anderson and Prosper have the same haircut, and it's really doing me in that they have the same exact haircut. Prosper with the dreads made it so much easier to tell who he was. Now he looks kind of like Anderson. Um, and and I'm also not used to seeing Nico Brett on the pitch either. So he is a similar stature to Anderson, and I'm like, which one is it? Is it Nico? Is it Anderson? It looks like Carlton might be lining up to take this one. Going back to him, Carlton, kind of fell out of favor. For He wasn't putting enough good performances as he goes and takes a strike. Ooh, almost spilled, and Mateo Foz almost gets a nice cheap goal. Looks like Matt had trouble kind of reading the grass here at Cashman Field, which fair. Um, but if you don't know about kind of the off the field stuff with Carlton, you can look that up yourself. You you can find it very easily. Um, but those issues absolutely overshadowed what he was doing at Atlanta United. And, he was kinda let go, and he makes his way to San Diego as there's a good chance at the top of the box. Now, won again by Prosper Kasim, who tries to one time it back over to Enzo Martinez. Enzo Martinez tries to have a go, but apparently he is offside. They calling that off on I think they're calling Juan off there actually because he interfered with the play. But he wasn't really doing enough to warrant keeping him. So he goes to San Diego where he's not very good. And then now he's over with Las Vegas and he's been the best player there. But, they kind of had him as a striker. They've kind of had him as a cam. He has been kind of playing the left wing. Huh. Um, and He doesn't really have a home with this team right now because he's kind of the best player there and no one's there creating things. He's been one of the best creators in the league. He's been creating a ton of opportunities, but they just haven't resulted in anything because they just don't have that clinical finisher. You can't help but wonder what would happen if they still had Cal Jennings. So I think just got a brace there. That's a wonderful ball from Jake Roop over to Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher at the top of the box, looking to get a little bit tricky. He goes to play one at the top of the box. Prosper Kasim lines one up, and it goes wide. But that was a brilliant ball by Jake Roof. Um, I'd love to see that out of him. Honestly, I really want to see him start more. Colin Smith getting more of a run, or yeah, Colin Smith getting more of a run lately with FC Dallas because I mean the Gold Cup is happening, and so they're having to pull up these guys. And good for Colin for getting real deal MLS minutes, but also, h- hey, I mean Jake Roof has proved that he is just as good. You know, We'll see, as there's a pretty I was gonna say good chance for Las Vegas, but they hit it over the wall. I Was that a home run? I hmm, hmm, interesting. Okay. As Legion are now playing it out from back, and I'm gonna have a quick bite of cereal in the meantime. Mm. Kellogg's Special K, the red berry, incredible, by the way. Favorite cereal of all time. Um, as now Otang has a chance. Ooh! That looks like a handball off of Alex Granole. I think Legion just got away with one. That looked like a handball. Everybody stops playing. Um, I wanna go back and see that because I think that was a handball. Okay. Waiting for a replay. Otang is, clearly not happy over something. My first instinct was that was a handball on Alex. Um, Something interesting out of this Legion team, and I wonder how much of a lot of the issues that come defensively with this team this year comes down to the defensive setup. So the defensive setup this year has kind of been to play zonal, and most teams do this, right? As my computer screen's freezing again. Most teams play a zonal game, and zonal means if, for example, if the ball, I'm going to pull a ball up because this is editing. If there's a ball here, right? If Foz has the ball right here, the entire team shifts over to the ball as so maybe not on top of each other, but they'll do something like this and they'll kind of come into the ball and really, try to pinch this side. And what that normally does is it's easier to wait, they're showing the handball again. I want to go back by 10 seconds. I missed it. Let's see it again. Outside the box, in the box. His hands to his body. I uh, with how handball rules are, I I don't know what that means. Anyway, so what this normally does is it's less communication needed. And honestly, it's just how most teams play. But what that does is it leaves you very exposed whenever you are trying to deal with someone going across the field. So, for example, if Ingram is making this run and I do this every time, and Moses Mensah is caught up here trying to cut this out. If Bateo Faz decides that he wants to play the ball in here, Mensah is gonna have to come back over here and play ball or human, and that's fine, right? But if he goes for ball or doesn't read it fast enough, Ingram is here. Mensah is kind of on the back foot, not quite getting there, and suddenly everybody else is having to suddenly recover, they have a chance at goal. That's been kind of the issue so far this year, and I wonder if defensively setting up to be more structured as Juan Agudelo has the ball now, at the top of the box, and I wonder if kinda changing that system and to go man on man, true man on man marking as I am just drawing everywhere on here, if that would fix a lot of these defensive issues. Again, I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't have any coaching badges as, Jake Roof now has this one out onto the right-hand side as that ball played by Tyler Pasher just bounces a million times. Oh my word. It also has to be said, and I said this earlier, Prosper Kasim putting in a real defensive shift. He does not get enough love as a defender, I don't believe. Um, I think he's a really good defender for kind of what he's being asked to do, um, which is kind of fun to see. Yeah, I I don't know. I maybe not. Maybe this is something that wouldn't work, but I do think that maybe that would be a better role for this team is to kind of play more structured man to man. Don't get worried about it because I mean, frankly, going through the channels like teams would try to do in those man to man systems is they would try to beat you over the middle or through the middle through the channels, Legion have always been pretty good at. They've been able to handle that. Granted, some of that comes down to the defensive system they play. So, which one is it? I also think that the best part about this team, as Juan Agudelo does an incredible job at keeping the ball there. That was beautiful to watch. I wonder if a lot of the strength is in the spine. So why not let teams attack that spine when it's your strength? I was about to eat. Then this Las Vegas player just kicked the ball a million miles in the air, and this is like a free ball, and Prosper sorta wins it, but goes straight to a Las Vegas player, and Las Vegas is now on the attack. The number 12 looking to survey the field, now out to oh, woof. Straight to Thomas now. I think this might be one of the first times we've seen all 3 Ghanaians on the team start together between, Moses oh, what a ball there. Tyler Pasher cutting inside. The keeper get a touch on it because that was a great chance there. Everybody is coming in, 4 corners, so it does look like it. That was a wonderful ball up to Tyler Pasher, who cuts inside, does well to get one off. Yeah, Diaz just gets a touch on it. Something I've also been critical of with this Legion team has been the lack of these middle of the park through balls, like really trying to go through these channels. And this match, they are really emphasizing it. We are going to go through these channels. We're going to play the through ball, through the ball, through ball. Because the through ball is not always the same as the long ball, as there's a cross in touchdown well by Prosper's name, who puts it at the top of the box. Now over to Famo Kabita. Now to Nico Brett. Maybe? As there's a shot lined up, kinda goes straight into the ground. No, sorry, that was Anderson and CJ. They all have the same haircut. I feel really bad. Now Enzo Martinez looks to spray one back in, headed well. I don't know if y'all heard that, but it scared the crap out of me. With Anderson and Nico, their stature is the same. With Prosper and Anderson, their haircuts are the same. It's confusing me. I'm doing my best, people. I'm doing my best. As there's a long ball. Man, Mateo Fall is apparently not offside. He's gonna really want that one back because if he touches that one down well, he is in on goal, and, I mean, he is a lethal striker when given the chance, and there's another through ball that Nico Brett can't quite get a hold of, but the pressure now goes all the way out, and now back to Van Okel, where it looks like we're just having a fun game of keeper wars. Can I say something stupid watching this match? I didn't before I started watching the lights, and, I've had to start watching Las Vegas lights doing the USL show, like, actually watch them. I didn't realize that Las Vegas was near mountains. That was an insane moment for me. I I understand that there's mountains in the desert, that's fine, I get that. But, like, Los Angeles and Las Vegas being near mountains just feels like that's not real, and I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, I get it, but it just doesn't feel like it should be in the same place, and it blows my mind every time. Is there's a pretty good ball now over to Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher on the outside, go over to Enzo Martinez, who cuts inside, looks to have a go as there's a defensive calamity, and whatever just happened there? Jeez Louise, man. Man, man, man. So apparently, last name has been that Las Vegas does has been a common fixture in the USL, which is wonderful. Also, I'm really sorry if this is me crunching too loud. I said I was going to mute my mic and until I forgot. I'm just trying to eat dinner, y'all. um, this is I y- so far Legion have done a pretty decent job in this one. I think that they're they've been the better team, but I also don't think that's shocking by any stretch. I I don't know. Ooh, there's a pretty good cross in by Las Vegas. I don't know if Las Vegas can maintain this kind of pressure. I don't know if Zach Carroll is hurt or what. I'm not sure. As there's that cross definitely took a deflection off of a Legion player, but then I guess they're saying it took another deflection. As there's another chance in the box, Mateo Foss on the inside the box looks to play it on top. That is who is I know who the number 8 is. What's his name? Preston. Preston could not quite control it, but it's still Las Vegas ball. And they can look dangerous at times. Preston is a not a bad player, and Mateo Foz, he is another guy who he was a really good player for Detroit City, and a lot of Detroit City fans were kinda sad to see him go, but I think that's more or less for what he did, as there's a long cross into the or a long throw into the box. Juan Agudelo is not having any of it and heads it straight for the We Heart fireworks sign, redapplefireworks.com. Ah, Cashman Field, you are whatever you are. As now the number 10, Ingram looks to put in a cross. This one floated high into the middle of the box. Really dangerous for Legion. That was a really well worked cross as that one's put right back into Ingram. Ingram looks to recycle it. It's a really good chance as Jake Roof does everything perfectly. Wow. That one was scary. The way he slid his legs through, I think if the center back there goes down, has that one just kinda falls straight at the feet of I think if he really goes down, I think he might get a call out of it, but I don't know. Las Vegas having a little bit more of a ball now, which is interesting to see. Um, they're looking a little bit better in possession, and it looks like Anderson is kind of pushing up farther into this attack, and at least on the defensive side. Really, the true high push here is kind of, very real. And honestly, I think we're getting more and more into this kind of attacking 4-4-2. Out of possession, we are looking more like we are in this 4-4-2 than anything, which, you know, I don't hate, but yeah, like out of possession as Nico I think Nico was off. Yeah, everybody's acting like Nico's off. But Prosper's playing pretty deep here, and Anderson's kind of going and play a little higher, which kinda tells me that this is still the 4-2-3-1 that we're all kind of accustomed to. It's just both players are kinda getting involved in the attack, so it still looks like a kind of like a 4-2-4. I don't know. This one's an interesting one for sure. That trying to figure out what's going on here is, been an interesting time as that ball has stayed in. Wow, what a touch there by Las Vegas to able to keep that one in. I mean, that was really impressive. Um Now we're looking to see them building back up, them as in Las Vegas, and it cannot be understated just how freaking bumpy Cashman Field is. This is I mean, that one goes straight through to Mr. Last name himself, the Van Okel. But yeah, this is it cannot be understated just how bumpy this field is. I mean, it's in terrible condition. And if you watch the XFL as Alex Crognale tries another long ball over the top, Nico Brett's there, gets a decent touch, but cleared away. Man, Tommy Sohn and company must have seen something on the film that said, just lump it long. They cannot handle it because right now, Legion have them on the ropes. And I mean, Las Vegas is just a half second away from just absolute disaster. As this ball is now into Enzo Martinez. Enzo Martinez looking to put it in across. This one over to the back post. Juan Agudelo, goal! Juan Agudelo. That was a Enzo Martinez to Juan Agudelo goal. And how many times have we said it with this team and with Juan Agudelo? Put the ball on his head and he will score. Why does he score? Because there's some things you can't teach. You can't teach being fast and you can't teach being big. You can train all you want, but you can't just get bigger. You just can't. And Juan Agudelo is a mammoth of a human. And this ball is into Enzo Martinez. He puts in a picture perfect cross, and Juan Agudelo leaps like a salmon. And well, the keeper looks kind of like a salmon too. And I mean, it was just a brilliant play, and it really was a long time coming. Juan Agudelo, have a bow, and what a cross there from Enzo Martinez. And it looks like we're also gonna be taking our water break, which means I'm also gonna take a cereal break. Yeah, I mean, what a goal. I mean, that was just well worked, man. I I really enjoy I really enjoy watching, uh, Juan just do his thing. I mean, Juan is he's a good striker. We just don't really use him properly, if I'm being honest. Um, yeah, I'm really glad to see how that goal's worked out. I mean, Las Vegas again has been on the back roads for a while, but I mean, they look dang good. I'm gonna send a little tweet real fast. And I don't know, I'm waiting to Legion to post, the goal itself. Yeah. Also, yeah, John Fuller of, Football Forge kind of just mentioned it on Twitter. Their, uh, their team's a goalkeeper having a donut, sponsor. I mean, that really does just ask for you to get scored on, doesn't it? Also, I meant to mention this earlier, maybe I already did. If you are watching this on Twitter, hey, thank you. I cannot see your comments. StreamYard does not send the comments this way. I guess I could pull up, um, I guess I could pull up Twitter. um, from here, but, we'll see. I'm gonna repost this. Wow, nice job, man. Good job. You're doing great, dude. Yeah, as Las Vegas looking to get something back, and a pings went long and just a little too far. There have been a couple of these where it looks like Las Vegas might have Legion in the right spot. They might have them able to really spring that counter and get there, but they're just the ball's just a little too heavy just every single time, but they're close, man. I mean, this is still a really solid squad, and that's annoying to hear, but that is. But Juan Agadello's in behind again. Another good through ball over the top as that one goes up to Moses Mensah. Moses Mensah looks to put it across it to the back post. Enzo Martinez, he's going to want that one back. What a wonderful cross by Moses Mensah. But Enzo, baby, as yeah, we get a nice little cross in. He tries to take it on the one time and just gets the technique all wrong. Enzo's going to really want that one back. It's not an easy goal by any stretch. He's going to have to really pull that leg across his body in order to get that one on frame. But we've also seen him do it before. Man, I mean, it's not an easy finish, but he's going to want that one back, no question. As now, Thang's over on the left-hand side going one-on-one Jake Roof, and he looks to catch Matt Van Oekel out, I think. I I don't think he hits that cross that hard. I don't know. Let's see. So, I'm thinking for some of these, I'm gonna start bringing in other people to watch these games with me because, like, I will admit, just me talking by myself, especially in situations like this, when I'm not at Ghost Train, it's a little it's a little bland, it's a little bleh. So, does he not take that down with his hand as ooh, wow, what a chance there. The number 8, Preston, takes that one down really well. It looked like he took that one down with his arm. Interesting. Whatever. Handballs are not real. As we know, they're just not real. Never have been real, never will be real. Jeez Louise. Now we have looks like Juan Agudelo kind of dribbling out of trouble. Now over to Anderson Asiedu. Anderson Asiedu looks to spread out wide, goes to Prosper Kasim instead. Prosper Kasim now looking over to Jake Roof, but instead to Tower Pasher. Tower Pasher kind of dribbling backwards, going all the way back to Fanwell Kavita. Fanwell Kavita up to Tower Pasher again. And kind of surveying the field. Now we're to Juan Agudelo. Juan Agudelo back over to Prosper Kasim. Prosper Kasim up to Nico Brett. Now to Enzo Martinez. Just high, but that was wonderfully worked. And we're seeing more of these opportunities. Look, I know a lot of Legion fans were not happy after the 3-1 thrashing to San Antonio, but also look at what they did to Memphis. I It's not exactly apples and oranges, but San Antonio is still one of the best teams in the league, man. They just are. And while Legion should be able to compete with them better, I agree. There's just levels to how those teams play together, man. As that's a wonderful touchdown by Juan Agudelo, and then Moses Mensah looks like he thought that Juan was going to be cutting inside to get to that ball. Him and Juan just not on the same page. Prosper Kasim wins that one. in the middle of the park, but over to a Las Vegas player, where Carlton sprays it out wide, out to the number 12, dribbles up, and we're seeing the wings for Legion really dropping back, especially Tyler Pasher, as this one goes across again over to the right-hand side, doing the big switch over, which this is, again, the big symptom of that zonal marking, which I talked about earlier. Um, the thing with zonal marking is you do kinda give up those big switches, and that's usually okay because most of the time they're lateral or they're such a big switch that teams can read it as Carlton has it at the top of the box. Look for have a go. Matt Van Okel with a fantastic save. Carlton with a ton of time to line that one up. I mean, not much better you can do with that ball besides put it top bins, but that's a heck of a shot. Carlton looks to wrap one. Matt Van Okel gets two big paws on it and puts it out for a corner. As we now have Ingram standing over this ball again. Ingram's a guy who's been around for a minute now, and it he's been he's good. He's another one of those guys that he's a good player, as that's a pretty good cross in. Now, Nico Brett kind of gets bodied into the back by Carlton. He Nico just fires it into Carlton, but it's not out of play. No, maybe it was. I don't know. No. All right. I want to see if Legion have posted the video of this goal so I can kind of break it down for what it is. Nope, not yet. As again, Las Vegas starting to they look kind of decent on the ball. This kind of I'm struggling to speak now. This sort of goes back to what I've been saying this whole time is that again, Las Vegas aren't awful. They're just way behind of what you think. I mean, as that's a what a oh my word. If that had gone in, oh my days. That's one well, and then Carlton flicks it up. That would have been mental. Holy. I wow. That I'm kind of in awe of that one as so people, by the way, have been asking why I don't, do our, uh why I don't do our, why I don't do the show in the truck anymore. Recently, my truck was broken into, so that's kinda why, so that wasn't fun. Did not enjoy being broken into, as you can imagine. As that's a pretty nice little ball. Well played by Mensa. Doesn't quite work out as they hit the inside the post. Las Vegas really feels unlucky there. Tyler Pasher tries to make some magic out of nothing, but another well worked moment by Las Vegas. Again, this is a team that you cannot be sleeping on. They're not just dreadfully bad, as they are on the attack once again. Going back into the middle of the park. Now the number 12 looking to put a cross in. Cross to the near post, not handled too well as against the top of the box, Tyler Pasher looking to do anything to get this one away down to Juan Agudelo. Juan Agudelo now over to Nico Brett. Nico Brett is kind of holding the ball up. Everybody, hey, catch your breath. Catch your breath, people. As lost the stream as Moses Mensah still has the ball. Good on him. Wow, I mean, that ball was so close from going in. I'm going to break down this goal real fast. So, let's kind of look at what happens here. So, we have 2 players right here, and Enzo does a pretty good job at getting around and kinda clips this one up. I mean, this one's simple. So, defender does not know that Juan is on his back quite yet until he sees the ball coming. He looks behind here, sees, "Uh-oh, there's Juan." At this point, he's already lost the positioning battle. He's already completely lost this positioning battle. And earlier in this game, if you do remember, we see Juan in a similar position where he is trying to kinda get his body around it and tries to put a foot on it. This time, he just goes all the way in on the head. So, defender not having any idea that Juan is coming. I think at this point, if I'm him, I'm hoping somebody else calls it out, as also Enzo Martinez has a chance, and it's Tyler Pastor from way outside of the box. What a goal. He just loves shooting from long range, and what an incredible goal. Another Enzo Martinez assist. Holy cow. As we continue to break this one down as, Zolly appears to be really hurting. So again, defender has not a clue that he is here, and this cross comes in, and again, he's already lost the positioning battle. He had no idea where Juan was until right here. At this point, Juan's already jumped. He's already jumped up in the air. He's lost. At this point, if I'm the keeper, there's not many places Juan
To the
can put
back
this
post, free.
ball the top of besides that top corner if you're looking at his positioning. There's not a whole lot of places he can go, but he sets up in the middle of the net, not too bad. But, I mean, if you look at where this ball goes in, I mean, that is about as top corner as it gets, man. It's about as top corner as it gets, and just a well-worked goal out of Legion. It was well worked and looked incredible. As yeah, hey, Legion just get their 2nd goal. It looked great. Cannot wait to break that one down a 2 as number 98 looks really hurt, man. Don't like to see do not like to see that as he looks to kinda step in and ooh, he lands straight on Tyler Pasher's foot. Completely, completely just misread it. Yikes. Ugh. He's walking back on his own though, which you do love to see. Jeez Louise. And we are back underway. Stoppage time. I mean, almost all stoppage time has been injury, but yeah, okay. Legion still kind of putting on the pressure. And I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Legion puts on the worst, I guess, like score line for Las Vegas. I'm also really confused by this lineup for Vegas. I don't as well won by Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher kind of takes that one from Enzo. Tyler Pasher looking up to Nico. Nico looking to get one off, takes a shot, read well. Juan Agudelo hits the outside of the post. Oh, man, he just desperately wants that one back. So close, my word. That one is just I mean, well done by Nico and takes that shot. Does he save that? Diaz got a touch to that. What a save, man, as we can see the fans getting ready for the world's largest water balloon fight as Prosper Kasim, cleared away by a defender, but now Jake Roof looks to get it back to, I believe that's Moses Mensah. Now over to Famwell Kavita over to Prosper, or sorry, Anderson. Now over to Bataya Foz. They are now Las Vegas is on the counterattack. It's 3v2 with quick chance to get back. Preston looks to cut one inside. Foz not quite there. The number 12 looks to line one up for a goal. Well read by Enzo Martinez. And then the follow-up shot, the number 17 just gets everything wrong. Skies it. Man, that's an incredible opportunity for Las Vegas, who've already hit the inside of the post. This match very well could be 1-1 or 2-1 right now, and with the chances that Las Vegas have gotten. But, oh boy, as that's halftime and the world's largest water balloon fight ever is about to commence, and I could not be more excited. I hope they show this. I really hope they show this. Let's see. They still haven't posted it. If that is the case, I am going to take a little break, a little voice break, and I will be back once this video is posted and we'll break down the goal. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly WFC. This has been a really fun series to do in the middle of the summer, in the middle of this WFC, W League season. If you haven't been watching the YouTube videos for these, because I don't advertise that I actually do that, at least see the intro video. I think it's fun. I try to keep the highlights from the season updated. So, I mean, yeah, you get to see Deba's goal. You get to see Morgan White's goal if you didn't see that. And I think the other goal scorer in there was Jasmine. I
Yes,
think,
Jasmine Green.
yeah, that's see. Okay. And by the way, voice you heard if you're not watching is Kaylee Dress back. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Um, Let me tell you, I was confused because I thought 26 was Cadence. And
Yeah,
yes,
that's been a problem that we've seen, like, on Twitter and stuff after games. I have no idea who that is. She hasn't come to a practice or anything, so I guess she was on the roster but ended up not coming. But, yeah, so Jasmine's been wearing her number instead, for games. So, pretty much if somebody's wearing that number, it's probably Jasmine.
good to know. I will fix that on my side. It's not a clue. Had no idea.
Yeah,
Um,
it's hard, especially because like, this is all new, so
yeah,
our names aren't very well known yet.
this is true. I mean, also there's just so many people on the roster. It's like, how do I know which face is which face? There's like there's so many faces.
Yes.
Um, But look, last time we talked, we were hyping up the Chattanooga match, and then we were talking about the match that happened a little bit, I guess 2 days ago now, yesterday, whenever that day was. That was, I don't know, it's been a blur. Um, look, you guys ended up dropping 2-0 against Chattanooga, and then you guys decided, well, we want to get some kind of revenge and righted the wrong of the other 4-0 and made a 4-0 victory of yourself against the Bantams of South Carolina. It's been a I guess a flip-flop kind of week of like highs and just kind of like being bummed out. What's kind of been the vibe in the locker room for you guys?
Well, I think we went into the last game, so against South Carolina, we went into the last game really wanting to get a win since it was our last game at Protective. Um, we wanted to do it for the fans and for ourselves because we honestly, we were all embarrassed about the 4-0 loss to them at their place, and so we really wanted to put it to them and kinda do the same exact thing, and then we just happened to have the exact same score line, just the other way around, which was awesome. Um, I mean, we scored, like, 3 goals in the span of, like, 10 minutes in the second half,
Ridiculous.
which was awesome, and it made the game so much easier after that point because I could relax a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, we just really wanted to give it to them, and after Chattanooga, we really wanted to get a win.
Yeah, I mean, that win against South Carolina, I definitely want to really heavily emphasize this one because look, it first half, it was kind of all Legion, right? It was all three sparks. It was one-way traffic. And, everybody just kept coming so close, so close, so close, so close. There was one moment, I think this was right before Nora scored to open up the scoring. I think it was Izzy who just completely just broke this poor girl's ankles, just
Mhm.
cut the ball back, and she was just laying there. And should she have passed it? Maybe, but I would have shot too. I was like, yeah, have you're allowed to do whatever you want. And after she did that, I was like, this is going to be one of those kind of games. Like there was just a confidence of y'all throughout that entire match.
Yeah. We had a better game plan, I think, going into that game. Because we've already played them, so we had an idea, and it helped that they were missing a few of their star players as well. Like they're really I can't remember her name, but the really small center forward that plays for South Carolina. She was amazing the first time we played them. She gave us lots of problems. She happened to not be there. So, I think that also helped, but, well, it's just everything was clicking, so and you love games like that when everything starts going your way.
Yeah, and this was match that I mean, it was like you guys were constantly putting pressure on their keeper, who, I mean, all things considered, actually had a pretty decent game.
Mhm.
Scoreline is a unfortunate thing for especially like backlines and keepers, right?
Yeah.
Where, a couple of moments and of something not going perfectly, and suddenly the scoreline looks worse than the actual game was.
Yeah,
Um, and Nora sneaks one to the near post, and you could probably sit there and say, keeper maybe should have had it, but also it was just a really well placed shot. I don't know what
it was
much
very
she
well
could have done.
placed.
And then second half, Jasmine gets a second half brace. Ashlyn Srepka gets on the score sheet as well.
Mm,
Who's leading goal scorer at this point? Is it Ashlyn or Nora?
I think it's oh, wait. I think it's Nora,
I
but
think you're
Ashlyn is
right.
definitely only, like, 1 goal behind or something like that.
I mean,
She's
they
very
are they're both just kinda battling it out. Um, I think one of the coolest moments of the match was not really the goals scored and just that dominance. I think it was the 75th minute, South Carolina gets a free kick, and the new goalkeeper in net gets,
Maggie.
she has one of the craziest saves I've seen in a long time, tips it onto the bottom half of the bar, and then just somehow gets it cleared away. I mean, this is Maggie's first time in net starting. Obviously, she's been around for a little bit and, getting the minutes and training a little bit and also warming up. for her to come in and immediately get a clean sheet, like, how cool is that for, the whole team?
Oh, that was awesome. That save was so amazing because I mean, I saw as soon as the girl took the shot, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a goal." Like, that was so well hit. But Maggie just came flying out of nowhere. It was awesome. Like, I immediately gave her a fist bump after. I was like, "That was so good." But she had some really good saves in the second half, some really good diving saves, and I was just really proud of her because I think it helped keep us going, to keep the momentum going in our favor. Because some of those shots were really good and probably should have been goals, but Maggie just
Yeah.
denied them. So it was awesome. And I know that she came back from injury. I don't know if she tore her ACL, but she did something to her knee. And like for her to do that in one of her first games back is crazy.
So the whole day on Wednesday was kind of surreal in every sense. Going immediately from a press conference with Dominique Wilkins to come out to see you guys, but we were all hiding because it was pouring raining.
Yeah.
It, we were just trying to get away, and it was just off and on, stop, start. There was something that I think a lot of people notice but don't really think about. I don't think I've ever seen a surface so slick as protective. Alright, we are back, and, hey, it is time to go ahead and break down this Tyler Asher goal, as their announcers are anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and break
You
this one
could
down.
build up what a goal.
So, let's go start from the very beginning. So, obviously, Patcher has it here. So, kinda look at where everybody is. Juan Agudelo on the far left-hand side. Nico Brett is kind of sneaking in behind. So, whenever we have this kind of play, this far center back is it not gonna okay, whatever. Come on, play. Alright. Are you gonna play, sweetheart? We gonna do that? I guess not. Guess we're not breaking down this goal. As there is more confetti. I alright, we're gonna stop sharing this real fast. I'm going to figure out what's going on with this. Okay, it's gonna reload. Alright, there we go. As an early chance here for, um, an early chance here now for oh my god, Las Vegas. Dear Lord. And let's kinda go back as there's a cross into the box. Ooh, off the back post. Okay, so Tyler Pasher is coming up here, and you can see this is where Nico Brett is starting to make his turn. So from there, this is where Enzo does a really good job at touching this one down. But you see, Nico is already starting to have this like little turn away. So, but really the defender here isn't really truly buying into this run because oh, a wonderful chance there for Legion, by the way. Because there's really no real way for Enzo to get his body around to play this ball. So there's really only 2 places this ball can go. It can be to Juan Agudelo, who's on the far left side, or Tyler Pasher, who is about to make a run. Everything in the body is telling you that that's where he's gonna be going is Tyler Pasher, and the defender kind of responds accordingly. As he is stepping over to Pasher, there's really only one thing Pasher can do. He could try to thread this one diagonally to Nico. I don't think that's a horrible idea, but, here it's very obvious what's happening, and he takes the shot. It's just a really well worked goal, man. Like, there's not a whole lot to break down this in this one because there's really only so much a defender has to read. Everything was very straightforward. Again, there's only so many places Enzo can do with this ball. With the way he touches it down, you could kind of flick it on to Nico here. So right here, the defender is really respecting Enzo's touch because he could flick it over to Nico. That doesn't happen, gets touchdown. So from here, your only option really is to play Tyler Pasher, which if I am this midfielder right here, I'm not making the turn that he does. I am flipping the hips and I am shooting out to your left. If you get beat by Enzo, who, by the way, Legion are on the attack again, snapped out. If you get beat by Enzo turning in, you can always face back. You can always get back to him and you have help. Your main priority really should be Pasher here, as that is well touched by Moses Mensah for the live game. Again, this one's played now down to Tyler Pasher, which he does well to slot it home, but you do kinda wanna see him with a faster trigger every now and then, because sometimes it gets a little slow with his trigger, and he seems to be just a half second behind as they almost catch, Las Vegas out again, Legion does, and this one goes in, and this is kinda what I mean by the trigger, right? Because he has, I think, the goal and this is where he takes the shot. I think he could've fired from here, and it would have been a lot better of a shot, but maybe not. Um, and he places it perfectly for the defender to barely just not get a touch on it. Hard goal, but yeah, I mean, it was a nice finish in the end. Don't wanna be too harsh as Carlton's down. Boohoo. Says, I think that's out on one. Apparently not. This is, mm, mm. As it looks like Zach Carroll, who I talked about earlier, is now coming in for, Zolly, who went down earlier. Um, you know, I I mean, he was the one that got really close to making that stop on the Pasher goal, but, you know, it, I guess, not worked out well as Juan Agudelo cheaply gives that one away, but again, not much doing. We are back from the second half, and that was bizarre. This is just bizarre. This is a bizarre match so far. I don't know what else to say. Oh, I still have it that we're, at halftime as Prosper Seen plays that one over to Moses Mensah. Moses Mensah kinda gets a little touch on it, plays it across back over to Juan Agudelo, back over to Prosper Kasim, who then just shields it back over to Fanwell Kavita. Now over to Alex Crognale, a big switch. Now that went up to Tyler Pasher, who instead of kinda coming to, he kinda lets it go, and, I mean, Fanwell Kavita just skies that one as far as he possibly can. We're seeing Legion not put on as much pressure in this second half, which I don't think is inherently a bad thing. I mean, they're up by 2 goals, but this is also a team that definitely has caught Legion out, so you can't just go fully back onto the back foot. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Now, Zach Carroll, he is a guy who was with Memphis 901 for a while. I think he was there for 3 years, so if you know the name Zach Carroll, that's where he's from. Um, he was one of the starters for Memphis 901, and admittedly a pretty bad back line, but he's now playing right back kind of in this match. Looks like they're kinda going to a three-back formation, weirdly enough, which is not the first time they've rolled this out, as Prosper Wasim has this one in deep, plays it back over to Ascronali. Ascronali looks like he's gonna play it long, and he does, and this is kind of the issue of having this idea to, um, play it long all the time like this is because, well, you end up giving away possession kinda cheaply. So, yeah. Now, Las Vegas just kind of I don't have sound on, so I don't really know what's going on half the time. Now Moses Mensah just kinda holds on to it, slowly walking, stands to confetti next to the kiddie pools. Now, one, baby, what are you doing? That was bizarre. As now back over to Zach Carroll with Nico putting on a little bit of pressure, and they're definitely telling Nico to put a lot more pressure on. I wouldn't be shocked if Nico comes off soon and makes way for Deba, but I'm sure they also want to get Nico ready for 90 minutes. But you don't want to push him too much too soon, you know? Um, but again, we only have 5 players on the bench, and one of those is Trevor Spangenberg. So assuming that Matt doesn't get hurt, he's not Trevor's not gonna be a sub. So we're looking at 4 subs. We're looking at, Grayson DuPont, Matthew Corcoran, um, oh my gosh, Demon Wigbo, and who was I'm struggling. Y'all, I am struggling. Who's the other player on the bench? Y'all, Ben Ravenna. That's I was gonna say that's why I couldn't remember. That sounds so mean. That sounds so mean. If you're looking for a little update of what's going on, Monterey Bay versus El Paso is still nil nil. Lots of yellow cards though, and El Paso has really been putting on the pressure. As Legion are now still looking to put on some pressure, and right now Las Vegas is having a nice little bit of possession, really keeping the ball. This is some of the best they've looked on the ball all game long. Really looking for those gaps in space, really trying to create some chances. Carlton begging for it in the middle of the pitch. Now on the outside, now at the top of the box to Carlton. Carlton plays it in quickly to pause. Now to Carlton as they just ran into each other. Their best bit of possession they've had all night long is ruined because Carlton, I think, fought just run into each other. And if you don't like that, you don't like Las Vegas soccer. You just don't. And worked well, as Moses just fires that one into, Preston, and that always feels so disrespectful. You see it in basketball a lot where they just fire it off of another player, and you see it in soccer a little bit, but, like, it's just so disrespectful. As Las Vegas is really putting on some pressure now. They are really leaning into this press right now, and it looked like Jake Roof did not handle that pass too well. Again, Las Vegas, ball. Now out wide. Beats Jake Roof, looks to cut in Andrew Carlton. Was that a save by Van Okel? What a save. Las Vegas is looking dangerous in this half, y'all. I mean, they're looking fluid. They're having some solid possession. Jake Roof with 2 rough moments, not handling that ball and then getting beat out onto the wing as Ingram puts it up to the top as there's one swung in. Looked to be, headed out now by Nico Brett. Nico Brett looking to put pressure on, but it's gone back out to Ingram. Ingram chests it down, looks to put another one into the box as there's a whole lot of Las Vegas players. Player goes down. Everybody stops. Even Alex stops. Not I don't think he was said it I don't think Alex thought it was a foul. I think he was immediately complaining about the other guy asking for a foul. There's definitely a shout there as Anderson Asayadu and Andrew Carlton both going at it. And I am here for it. As we see this in the box, I don't see anything there. Man. Legion not looking so high out the start of the second half. Not really out of anything saying like they haven't been great, but again, Las Vegas just showing a little bit more poise, a little bit more control of the ball, and Legion not really holding on to a whole lot of it. As that's a really good opportunity for Las Vegas, touched well by Famol Kavita to kind of clean up the scraps. Moses Min or sorry, that was Juan Agadello. He puts Moses Minson in a tough spot. Alex Granale clears that one away. This one is interesting. they're all just kind of lackadaisical, and it's good that Legion got the goal, but yet before the end of the half, but right now, I don't really see a lot of forward momentum out of this Legion team. Looks like they're kinda content to see this one out, which if I'm Legion, I'm trying to put on as many goals as you can because you need confidence going into the same big game as this corner is swung in. Touchdown at the top of the box. Looks to put another cross to the back post. What what just happened? As that's a goal for Las Vegas with 2 players just fighting over it. What? As this one's crossed to the back post, headed backward, and I think Legion players are calling for offside. I mean, there's no way he's offside there. I mean, I'm they're giving it to Preston. That was a bizarre goal. That was a weird goal, man, and, I mean, Las Vegas is still on it. I mean, this is what I kept trying to say, is that this Las Vegas team is not that bad. You cannot just fully you you really can't just switch off. They're a better team than they look on paper. They just are. Just are. I'm, going to see if Las Vegas has posted a goal yet. I'm gonna assume no. No. And Las Vegas is once again on the attack. This one got into the back corner, touchdown pretty well by Preston. A wonderful little back heel, nice and spicy. Juan Agudelo, and now to Moses Mensah, and he goes down quite easily as this one's fired to the top of the box. Moses Mensah plays it well, fouled, and wins it. And hey, their player's not happy about it whatsoever. I mean, some of these plays right now, it looks like Legion is just turned off from this match. Like they just do not care. Uh, as Matt Van Okel fires that one into the stands. Okay, let's see if Las Vegas has posted this goal yet. No. Why would they? Jeez Louise. As a nice header from Moses Mensah. Now Nico Brett is apparently offside. Tough. And we're going to give Preston his goal. Now, I mean, Las Vegas again, another ball into the box. They're calling for a handball. It's now to Carlton. Carlton goes down in a heap, nothing to it. Now looking to restart it again. Ingram sprays it out wide. Now over to the middle, over to Carlton. Again, another little back heel, but Anderson Asadu has nothing to do with it. Clears it out, but Las Vegas keeping on the pressure. Vegas looking to build this one up. Looks to pass it in. Now back down the line. Legion starting to put a little bit of pressure on, but Las Vegas is well handling this possession right now. Now over to the right-hand side, now played up again, to Preston. Preston tries to go around Kavita. Good luck with that, pal, as we are getting into another corner, and are they calling for it? They put their hand up like they thought there was a handball in here. I don't think so. I also whatever. And Ingram is looking to take this corner, which they have been very threatening from so far this half. Very threatening. Still no update from Las Vegas. Ingram puts this one in, headed away by Agudelo, now over to the top of the box. A shot. Oh, that one was always rising, but that one was a dangerous shot there by Las Vegas. Now, Van Okel, low driven ball, and it just keeps going. As I mean, this is another wonderful opportunity for Las Vegas, and they equalize. Carlton with a goal, and it's all falling apart for the 3 Sparks. It is a 2-2 game, and it was just getting caught out there, and just a wonderful cross into the ball, cross into the box. Moses not quite able to get there. Matt tries to get a good paw into it, but just completely caught out, and wow, wow, as Nico Brett's off for deep in the Wigbo. Man, so Kasim is off for Corcoran. Deba is off for Nico. Deba now dancing around the box, has a little bit of space, but there is just no one in the box waiting for him. Now the top again gets a little bit tripped up. Deba is still with the ball. No one really moving off the ball to try to win anything back. And this is what's so frustrating right now. But Anderson Asiedu still has it. Now over to Juan Agudelo. Now one over to Anderson Asiedu. It doesn't quite work out. Juan Agudelo. I mean, uh, all right. I'm. Mm, I mean, As whoa, there's a clear one-on-one now over to Enzo Martinez. Enzo Martinez looks it and hits the post. Enzo, baby. Oh, man. He's I mean, that is well worked by Deba and just hits the front of the post. My word. Let's see if we Las Vegas just refuses to post highlights as Manuel Cavita lines one up. Enzo Martinez straight into the hands of Diaz. Man, Legion Twitter is on fire right now. They are yeah, they're oh boy. I mean, Matthew Corcoran looks like a, extra stretch of life, but I keep going back to it. Matthew Corcoran needs to be starting. He does. Matthew Corcoran needs to be starting. I I don't know what else to say. He's created a ton of chances as that one as well into Juan Agudelo, who plays it across and not really handled well by really anyone. But and when this team was really rolling right, I mean, Matthew Corcoran was right there and making plays as this one is spread across wide. Now to the top of the box, looked like he was tripped or he just fell. I'm not sure. This one now to over here. Now back up to Deben Nwigbo. Deben Nwigbo looking to get on the end of it. Absolutely bodies a man, sends him to the nether realm. Now to the top of the box, looks like. Now over to Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher looking out wide. Now to Enzo Martinez. Back to Tyler Pasher. To a whole lot of nobody, but now Jake Roof. Jake Roof looks to line one up. Has a go. Saved well by Diaz. Hey, love that out of, Jake Roof. I mean, have a go, young son. You gotta have one every now and then. I mean, this is just well taken by Jay. If he sees the space and says, "Why not?" I mean, that's going in. That is well saved, man. I mean, they look everybody on this field looks exhausted, like, proper exhausted, man. Ugh. I I don't know what to say about this. I just don't. Hydration break. Thank God we have one of those. Alright. I'm gonna take a little water break myself and drink a little bit. Because this corner is back in, and Las Vegas has another counterattacking opportunity. Preston going on the right-hand side looks to take on Pasher. They don't give a foul for it. Everybody stops anyway. It looks like a replay of the second goal they scored, another cross the box and dealt well by Cronulla this time, and Las Vegas looks good right now. No other way to put it, as Carlton almost gets a toe to it. Matt Van Okels, gets up and looks to distribute, and I won't know what happens because 'cause we're seeing a replay. He just kinda trips over the ball, nothing happening. What's going on in the game, people? That's what I want to know. I wanna know what's happening, and Matt Van Oekel still has the ball. Did he really hold on to the ball for, like, 12 seconds? Weird. Now, Juan Agudelo looks to play this one up to Moses Mensah. Moses Mensah plays it back to Juan Agudelo. Juan Agudelo looking around, looking, now over to, Anderson Asiedu. Asiedu sprays it out wide. Touchdown. Well, really well by Jakey Roof. Go on, Roofy boy. Keeps making that run. Enzo Martinez couldn't quite get it to him, but wins it back well. Back over to Matthew Corcoran. Corcoran over to Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher looks out wide to Juan Agudelo. Now over to Tyler Pasher again. No one really moving on off the ball. This is, you can tell the heat's really starting to get to this team, but really it's no excuse. Both teams are really having to handle it. Now Tyler Pasher looks to kind of line one up, but wants to go through the middle. Could not quite get past that last defender. And right now, Moses Mensah is still having to take on Preston. Now this one over to the left-hand side, a big switch and play, saved away by the number 20. Now back out. Enzo putting a little bit of pressure onto this back line, kind of playing the ball. Now over to Zach Carroll. Zach Carroll's looking, surveying, and I don't know. Right now, it seems like, oh, well read by young Matthew Corcoran. And is that Deba? Yeah, Deba goes down, earns himself a foul. As number 11 is coming on. I don't know who that is. Oh, Otang is going off. I don't know who that is. And I'm just going to go ahead and give up on this. Their number 11. Oh, that's Ariel Gonzalez. Now back over to Kavita. And I mean, Legion look exhausted. Like, they all just look exhausted, man. Now over to Deep Nwigbo. Nwigbo has been a real spark of life. Same with Matthew Corcoran. Real spark for this team, and they look a ton better with him coming on. Now, if they're going to go full pressing, I don't know. Oh, I need to fix Legion as well. This one is Eba. There we go. Updated. This is in stream editing, people. Oh, a good opportunity now. One Agudelo slows it up. Looks to go out wide to Deba Nwigbo. Doesn't quite read it in time. Deba puts the hand up, but Juan just not really, not exactly not on the same page, just not on the same page at the same time. They were, I mean, they were about to flip over to the same word and just didn't happen quick enough. But now Las Vegas still has an opportunity, and this is kind of similar to what we saw out of Las Vegas with their 2-2 draw to New Mexico, as Kavita does really well to defend this one. And New Mexico, I mean, New Mexico is the better team for most of it. And they just, as one goes down in a heap, and they say play on, not a foul, apparently. Um, And New Mexico claws their way back and gets a 2-2 result. And they've been kinda comeback kids, and they've been getting really well worked draws. And this second half, I mean, there's no question about it, this Las Vegas team has been better. They just have, as that's a really good ball out to Carlton, but, Asiedu handles it well, and that is out for another goal kick for the Three Sparks. Whew, voice is getting tired, y'all. I haven't done this in a minute. I mean, They look exhausted, and this Legion team just looks exhausted, man. And in order to try to get a little bit of the ball and then just, like, get fully into it, I mean, they're trying to play as short as that's really well, between Juan and Moses. Moses puts an early cross in, but not quite on the same page as Deba, um, as that is a throw-in for Las Vegas. Moses and Deba just yeah, not quite on the same page. I He hits it just a little bit long. I don't know if he thought that Debo was going back post, which really does half the time just to see seems to be Moses's specialty, which is just ball to the back post. As Carlton does really well to win that ball, but Van Kavita has none of it. But Kavita still kind of caught up field, but one well now by Alex and now Anderson. Now up to Matthew Corcoran. Corcoran looks to distribute, goes up wide at Nwigbo. Wigbo takes his space, looks to pass, goes to the back post, cleared away by I think that's Zach Carroll for another corner kick. Now Tyler Pasher lining up over this one, looking to put in the in swinging corner. Cannot seem to keep the ball right where he wants it to be. Hands up, and the ref says, "Stop that." And we're back on. Corner put in by Kasim. Headed well. Back post. Goal! Enzo Martinez. That one took a deflection off a deflection off a deflection, but in the end, it goes into the back of the net. Enzo Martinez rights the wrong of hitting the post earlier in this match. What a finish. When I say what a finish, I mean, he was kinda right there, but doesn't matter. Goal. I mean, this is why corners are dangerous. They just kinda create chaos. This cross goes into the top of the box, headed back by Kavita, touched down by someone else, and now who touched that? Oh, no one. So is this a Kavita assist? I do believe so, and just goes straight through the wickets of 2 defenders, and that is a goal from Enzo Martinez to put Legion up 3-2. I mean, if you're Las Vegas, you feel a little hard done by here because you feel like you've been the much better team in the second half. And if you're Legion, you can't switch off because we've seen them come back from 2 goals down. This has been a really entertaining match for the neutral. I don't like this very much. Um, but that's not for me to talk about. That's not I don't whatever. Who cares? Man. All right. So we're looking at just again, that was just kind of chaos ball. And I think Las Vegas has finally uploaded. Okay, they only uploaded one video of. So I don't know what happened in the first. Well, actually, we do. So we're going to look at these goals really fast. Share this tab. Yes. Bang. All right. As Juan Agudelo has this one out wide, looks over to Enzo Martinez, who I don't know what just happened. Okay, so for this corner, it was served in by Ingram and headed away pretty well. And this one's touchdown well by Otang, who goes to, I believe, at Zach Carroll at the back post. And here, like we said earlier, I don't think Alex or Fanwell realizes that there's somebody on their back. The first time they realize it is right there, and Fanwell goes to win it. Zach Carroll just gets a little bit more height, and it goes straight across, which I've never seen 2 players try to miss an open goal so hard. Like, they tried so hard to miss this ball. Like, they tried so hard. How do you barely sneak it into the near post from here? How whatever. Anyway, so that's all really happened on that one. As for the next goal, they haven't posted it. God dang it. Whatever. But, they posted the highlights of that water balloon fight instantly. As Emmanuel Ledesma comes on now for Andrew Carlton, and that is interesting. Now, the number 45 Ledesma, if you don't know about him, he was the, uh he was the 2018 USL, um, MVP, where he, I believe, had just over 30 goal contributions in one season. And I mean, he played incredible. Um, he was the best player on a not so or a best player on a great FC Cincinnati squad. And Ledesma went on to endear himself to Cincinnati fans and goes up to MLS and was the best player on a really bad FC Cincinnati team. And I don't know. This is a kind of I mean, Ledesma is a guy who has talent. And last time I saw him in the league, he was with India 11, and now he's with Las Vegas, and look, it hasn't been amazing. He's an older guy who's just not doing it like he used to, as Juan Agudelo is just holding this ball up, just absolutely bullying people. Now Moses Mensah tries to go up the line, but it doesn't quite work out. It's a deep throw in though for the lights. Lights are really looks like they're about to be pinned into their own half. Long throw up forward, but oh no, that is one by Lights, but now it's by Legion. Now to Matthew Corcoran. Corcoran pulls it up back over to Anderson Sayadu. Now over to Juan Agudelo. Juan Agudelo tries to go through the wickets, but doesn't quite work out. Now it's kind of stuck into their own half is the Las Vegas Lights. Now, Deben Wigbo does a really good job to win it back, but gives it up cheaply, but gives up the foul at the same time and lets out some kind words of what he thought of his own personal actions. Now it's a free kick going into the 87th minute. And this match has been real back and forth. As this one goes really well worked by Jake Roof there. Jake Roof not having the superstar game that he had in the past, but I still think he's had a pretty decent match so far. You can't really blame him for really any of the goals. Some of the opportunities, sure, but so sorry. As this one is a cross into the box, wide open, and the woodwork comes to the rescue once again. Twice now have Las Vegas hit the woodwork that would have given them an equalizer. Man, Preston feels hard done by. Just a clear as day header, just a horrible spin of the ball. I mean, that ball was destined for the back of the goal, but takes a nasty spin and hits the post. I can't think of the last time I've seen a ball spin like that. That's a for sure goal every single time, and when he looks up to the heavens, he says, "God or soccer gods, why did you do this to me?" Oh, man, that kinda reminds me of, do you guys know I don't know how well you know old, like, sports highlights, but Bob Costas as Las Vegas has another counterattacking opportunity. This one's over to Preston. Preston looks to go across and, look, I mean, they are outright going straight after Moses Mensah. I mean, there's no way around it. They are just going right after Moses Mensah, as it looks like Emmanuel Ledesma, the 2018 USL MVP stands over it. Ledesma. He's put in 3 or 4 Olympicos in his lifetime. I wonder if he goes for one here. He puts one into the near post, handled well by Juan Agudelo, but he goes to do it a second time. Ledesma cannot quite get there. Now Jake Roof just handling the old MVP and clears it away, and Matthew Corcoran finishes up the job. Now Diaz up to the halfway line. And yeah, I mean, this is the one thing you have to worry about with Emmanuel Ledesma. Uh, when he was on his MVP run, I think he had an Olympico, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a goal straight from a corner kick, not a headed goal. As this one is floated back into the box, Matt Van Okel punches it away now to the top of the box. Looks like we're going to get a shot from outside, deflected wide. But Ledesma, I think, had 2 straight games of scoring directly from the corner kick, and this one is going to be an in-swinger for Ledesma. So, don't be shocked if he gets a little sneaky and tries to go for the Olympico at the back post, as this one is put in, and that one's going to the back post, and it's a wide open header, but it goes well over, well over. Now we are looking at 5 extra minutes, most of this being for that hydration break. And Juan Agudelo is coming off for Grayson DePaut. And I believe Legion have just shown the goal on Twitter, so we will go do that now. Share this tab.
To the back post, headed back across the face.
There
It's
we go.
fallen.
All right, so obviously a corner goes in. This one's pretty straightforward, as a couple of these goals have been. This one's won by Fanuel Kavita, plays it across. Looks like it could touch Juan Agudelo here, but lands straight into Martinez, who just toe pokes it straight away. And you'll see on this back angle here just kind of what I mean by toe pokes it. So this one kind of goes through. Looks like it takes more of a deflection off a defender. And here, Enzo kind of has to do everything right. There's not a lot of space for him to go. And he goes straight down the middle, kind of pokes it through off a deflection. And that is what has given Legion the lead. 3-1 lead going on now. As Grayson DuPont wins that one well, tries to play it long, but I mean, Anderson Asadu, way off sides, as there is a long clear over from Diaz as Manuel Ledesma touches it down well, defies. There's the equalizer, the long goal kick catches Legion out. Emmanuel Ledesma gets an assist, and it is 3-3. Oh, man. And this is the chaos that comes from playing the lights. It is really well done. Mateo Faz, Pato just, I mean, now Las Vegas has a chance to get another goal as they are still on the attack. 2 minutes remaining in this match. Be interested to see if they give Legion an extra minute because of the goal. Now, here comes Moses Mensah. Do Legion have one more in them? This one's thrown inside. Now to into Martinez. The break is on the way, and that one's just a little too long for Droofy Boy for Tyler Pasher. Just a hair too heavy, but that was the right idea. It now looks like Las Vegas is going for the same thing again, trying to go long, doesn't quite work out. Grayson DuPont gets it, but now over to Moses Mensah. Moses Mensah tries to restart fast, player right in front. Now we're to Matthew Corcoran, who has a heavy touch but wins it back. Almost loses it again, cleared away by Jake Roof. Try to be one down by Grayson DuPont, who loses the ball. Now we're to deep in Nwigbo. Nwigbo, that ball is going over to the box. Zach Carroll clears it out. Now over to Tyler Pasher. Tyler Pasher tries to do anything he can with it, not quite. Now to Enzo Martinez. Now to Matthew Corcoran, who goes over to the right-hand side, but absolutely no one's making that run like he expects it to be. Jake Roof trying to defend, trying to get anything on it. Now, Fanuel Kavita throws a man down, and that is a foul. And this looks like it very well could be the last kick of the game, as Fanuel Kavita shown yellow for his troubles. And this could be the last kick of the game, and Legion might not even be walking out with a point to share the spoils. I'll be honest, I don't think that's a foul until Fanwell extends the arms. As this one's put into the back post, can't quite handle it. That is a goal kick, and they're going to take their time. This one is cleared long now by Matt Van Okel, headed down by the lights. Now touches it down, and that is game, set, match. Las Vegas walks away with a point to share. Legion comes home after blowing a 2-0 lead and then a 3-2 lead to draw. And if you're a Legion fan, this one feels a lot like the 3-3 draw against Atlanta United 2 last year, which that was right before Legion go on to have a real run, have an amazing run, as their coach is, like, getting on to somebody. That's weird. I said before that this Las Vegas team is good, that I don't think they're as bad as their record shows, and nights like this show why. Emmanuel Ledesma brings back that, 2018 flair, and, Pato does a good job to equalize. Legion go up 2-0 at half, play the first 15 minutes like they had already won the game, and they hadn't, and that's obvious. They're walking away with a point, which, just a point's not awful, all things considered, but when you're in a title race like this, you gotta have more than that. You gotta have more than that. So, yeah, that's it, I believe, for this one. Legion do fall and drop points, and this one, uh this one kind of is what it is. Legion need to really get it together. I'm going to obviously tomorrow, I'm going to record my post-match reactions, and we'll see where I land. This match was what it was. So, till next time, guys. Keep hammering on.